Josh Peck and Drake Bell reunite for emotional conversation after quiet on-set revelations. Josh Peck and Drake Bell have finally reunited publicly, marking their first appearance together since the shocking revelations shared in the 2024 documentary Quiet on Set, The Dark Side of Kids TV. The emotional reunion took place on an upcoming episode of Peck's Good Guys podcast, produced by Dear Media, where the former Drake and Josh co-stars opened up about their time on the beloved Nickelodeon show and the difficult truths that came to light in the documentary. The highly anticipated reunion comes after years of speculation about the status of their friendship and how the dark revelations from Quiet on Set affected them both. Peck and Bell starred together on Drake and Josh from 2004 to 2007, becoming household names and beloved figures for an entire generation of Nickelodeon fans. However, the seemingly lighthearted and comedic show masked a darker reality behind the scenes, one that Bell courageously spoke about for the first time in the 2024 documentary. A look back at Drake and Josh, and the bond they shared. Josh Peck and Drake Bell became overnight sensations when Drake and Josh premiered in January 2004. The show followed stepbrothers Drake Parker and Josh Nichols as they navigated high school girls and family life with hilarious and heartwarming outcomes. The show's success was immediate, and it quickly became one of Nickelodeon's most popular and highest-rated programs. Behind the scenes, Peck and Bell formed a genuine friendship that extended beyond the set. While their characters were often at odds on screen, off-screen they were close friends, supporting each other through the pressures of growing up in the public eye. However, as the show ended in 2007 and their careers took different paths, the bond between them seemed to weaken. Fans speculated about tensions between the two, especially after Bell was notably absent from Peck's 2017 wedding, which Bell publicly commented on at the time. Peck and Bell's relationship remained strained for years, with sporadic attempts to reconcile. But it wasn't until the release of Quiet on Set that the true extent of Bell's personal struggles was revealed, and it became clear that Peck had been unaware of the trauma his friend had endured. Quiet on Set, The Shocking Revelations. In 2024, Quiet on Set, The Dark Side of Kids TV was released as a 4-part docuseries on investigation discovery. The documentary provided a disturbing glimpse into the toxic and predatory culture behind some of Nickelodeon's most successful shows from the 1990s and 2000s. Through interviews with former child stars, writers, and crew members, the series exposed the emotional and physical abuse many young actors faced at the hands of producers, directors, and even fellow cast members. Drake Bell's testimony in the series was one of the most powerful and heartbreaking moments. Bell revealed for the first time that he had been sexually assaulted as a teenager by his dialogue coach, Brian Peck, no relation to Josh. Bell described how the abuse began when he was working on The Amanda Show and continued into his time on Drake and Josh. Bell's admission shocked fans and former co-stars alike, as he had never publicly addressed this trauma before. His decision to speak out was met with an outpouring of support from fans and fellow actors, but it also raised difficult questions about how Nickelodeon executives allowed such abuse to happen unchecked. Josh Peck admitted during the podcast that he was completely unaware of Bell's abuse. He expressed deep sadness and regret that his friend had endured such trauma alone. "I never knew," Peck said during the podcast. "If I had known, I would have done everything in my power to protect him. It breaks my heart to know that he was going through that while we were filming." The emotional reunion on Good Guys. In a sneak peek of the upcoming Good Guys podcast episode, Peck and Bell are seen sitting together, visibly emotional as they reflect on their past. The clip shows Bell tearing up as he describes the pressure of maintaining a perfect public image while privately dealing with trauma and abuse. Josh Peck is seen comforting Bell, holding his hand as he listens. "We were just kids," Peck says. "We had no idea what was happening behind the scenes. We were just trying to make people laugh." Bell opened up about how difficult it was to carry the secret of his abuse for so long. "I was scared," he admitted. "I didn't know who to trust. And I didn't want to ruin the show for everyone. But it was eating me alive." The two also reminisced about the lighter moments from Drake and Josh, the on-set pranks, the bloopers, and the genuine laughter they shared while filming. Peck and Bell both acknowledged that, despite the painful truths that have come to light, their time on the show was also filled with positive memories. "I'm grateful for the good times," Bell said. "But I'm also finally ready to face the bad times. And I'm grateful to have Josh here with me for that." Josh Peck's reaction to the documentary. Peck admitted that watching Quiet on Set was difficult for him. He struggled with feelings of guilt for not recognizing what Bell was going through and for not being there to support him at the time. "I felt like I let him down," Peck said. "I was his friend, but I didn't see what was happening. I wish I could go back and protect him. Bell reassured Peck that he doesn't hold any resentment toward him. You didn't know, Bell said. None of us did. And that's why it's so important that we're talking about it now. Peck also mentioned that he hasn't spoken to Amanda Bynes since the documentary's release. Bynes, who starred alongside Peck and Bell on The Amanda Show, has faced her own public struggles with mental health and addiction. I hope she's okay, Peck said. We all went through so much together. I just want her to be happy and safe. Could a Drake and Josh reboot happen? Despite the dark revelations, both Peck and Bell expressed interest in revisiting their iconic characters. Bell said he would love to work with Josh again and explore where their characters would be as adults. Peck agreed, adding, I think it would be fun to see where Drake and Josh are now. But it would have to be done right. We'd want to honor the fans and the legacy of the show. While no official plans for a reboot have been announced, fans have already begun speculating about the possibility of a Drake and Josh reunion special or even a full-fledged revival. Healing and moving forward. Peck and Bell's reunion marks a significant step in their healing process, both as friends and as individuals who have faced the complexities of child stardom. Peck expressed his hope that by sharing their story, they can help other former child stars who have suffered in silence. It's not easy to talk about these things, Peck said. But if it helps even one person feel less alone, then it's worth it. Bell agreed, adding, we've been through a lot, together and apart. But I'm grateful that we've found our way back to each other. The full Good Guys podcast episode featuring Josh Peck and Drake Bell's emotional conversation is set to be released next week. Fans are already anticipating what promises to be an honest, heartfelt, and ultimately healing conversation between two friends who grew up together in the spotlight and are now reclaiming their narrative. For